Kenny Ho, my man, how you doing?
Hanging in there, Randy. Monday, it's good, and woo, we live, baby.
Oh yeah, we live, we live. If you're watching live on X or Twitter or YouTube, my man Kenny Ho in the middle, first time guest, my man Armin Sadler. Look at
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
my man Armin. How you doing?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. It's great to be here. Thank you both for having me. Always love talking graps. Always love being asked to come on someone's show to talk graps. And it's there's no better time to be talking about everything we're gonna get to. So I'm excited to be here.
That's a fact. In a bit, my man Terrence Watson will be joining us, but you can find the podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, also on Amazon Music. Go to youtube.com/Cruise Control Podcast. Go ahead, download, rate, comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Show some love and support for your boys on the program. If you are watching us on X, Twitter, YouTube, hit us up in the comments. We'll get right to it and get your comment on the air. So the beauty of this, Armin, you told me off the air you did not see the second half of Monday Night Raw, which is perfect because I like to tell you things in real time to get your live reaction. Me and Kenny did watch all of Raw. We were watching the national championship, which is still going on now, Florida and Houston. But so the main portion was Paul Heyman, Seth Rollins talk about Paul being in the corner of CM Punk at WrestleMania.
Right.
Rollins comes out and gives a promo about just telling Paul Heyman, like, hey, can you really trust Roman Reigns? He shitted on you before with the bloodline. Um, you got attacked at the Garden. Did he help you? No, he wasn't there. Can you trust CM Punk? He's your best friend. He left you for 10 years. And all this true backstory. When it's all said and done, he said, CM Punk said, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. So then he said, all right, so how much are you worth? And he kept antagonizing Paul, like kept pushing him and pushing him. Then he slapped Paul Heyman. And then by the time you know it, Paul says, yo, don't put your hands on me. Then he kind of mushes him to the corner. Punk comes out. They start scrapping. And then Punk went to go put the curb stomp on the chair. Still steps outside. He missed it. He goes back in the ring. Seth curb stomps Punk. So then Paul is going to help Punk. And then Seth is like, all right, time to curb stomp you. And he went to it. Paul got the way at the last minute. And then Seth put his foot on the ground. Then he tells Paul, now you owe me a favor. And then Raw goes off the air. So the last couple of weeks, and I'll get Terrence on, I see him in a second, we kept saying that we had a notion that when it's all said and done, we felt like Seth being the wild card in this match, that Paul could walk out with Punk in the beginning. But I think when it's all said and done, I think Paul Heyman is going to align himself with Seth Rollins at some point in time. Probably that night. Right now, it could be a little forced because of the favor he has to owe Seth. But regardless, we felt Seth is going to benefit from a Paul Heyman alignment. Do you agree with that?
That's a really interesting angle. It's something that I have talked about with a few people before because Heyman aligning with CM Punk just feels very obvious. It feels like a very simple play, and simplicity works. But it's like you said, Seth is the wild card. Seth has almost felt like while the initial feud was Seth and Punk, now with Roman involved, Seth almost feels like a third wheel in a way.
Exactly.
But I feel like Triple H books these third wheel, oh, this person's less important to get more important over time type people. Like you look at Liv Morgan and Rhea and Becky Lynch's feud. Liv ended up benefiting the most out of that. So it's a very interesting proposition that you put out there. And I do think something good is coming Seth's way. So that would be a pretty dope curveball to end night one with Seth Rollins winning the match and Paul Heyman being by his side.
Yeah.
So I'm actually pretty into that.
But man, Terrence, welcome to the show, buddy.
Yo, I'm just listening in on the greatness that's happening right now. For one, shout out to you guys because we called it what the favor would be.
Yeah,
that's number
But
one.
also very exciting that Seth, like you said, now he has a favor.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Hey, wise man, I got a favor. You know what I'm saying? Get us some fucking WrestleMania tickets that don't cost, you know what I'm saying? Like our future children's tuition. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus.
Yo, have you seen the prices for that?
Yes.
Oh
dog.
my god, yo.
I mean, we've talked about it. When I went
It's
for
crazy.
what was it, 39? This would literally be triple just to go. I want to say maybe night one would be triple what I paid for me and my brother to go both nights. I got for context, for my brother's birthday, for Christmas, I got us WrestleMania tickets. It was kind of like, make good on some childhood, like we never got to do it, kind of stuff. And so, yeah, it was like, yo, let's do it. He had never been to LA before. It was a whole thing. It would cost me more to go night one
in LA than
in
Vegas.
LA. Mind you, this isn't like a small market at SoFi. Than it would for us to have gone both nights just 2 years ago.
That's crazy.
Which sounds insane, man. Like, it really sucks because I looked up SummerSlam tickets.
Oh,
they're
boy.
just as expensive.
It is already?
Yeah. I looked up SummerSlam tickets and they're just as, because I was like, all right, well, I'll go to SummerSlam. I'm not going to SummerSlam. I'm not going to SummerSlam. I'll be in New York. I'm not going to SummerSlam. I can't.
Front row seats from the couch.
Yo, you feel me? Because it was like, and we had these. I will admit, I was looking at it like, yo, it's WrestleMania. Who knows if we'll go again? Let's enjoy it, right?
True.
Yo, and the seats even surprised us because I had never been to SoFi before, so I thought where I was on like the mezzanine level was the 100 level, and it wasn't. It was like, oh shit, we're like right before you get to the, to the floor. It was great seats for us to even sniff. Like, I think for SummerSlam, it starts at like 600 something for nosebleeds.
For who they wanted to go? What fans do they want to go? What's $600 seat?
600 for up top.
What is
MetLife
person for nosebleeds? Yeah.
Wow.
Who they want to see? This ain't Yankee Stadium. This is WWE.
It's MetLife, home of
I mean, look, respect to my
Russell Wilson now, and
Justin Fields, baby.
James Winston, James Winston.
Come on, man.
Sauce Gardner, what's up? You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man. Come on.
Neighbors. Terrence, did you catch up on the end of Raw?
I heard you guys talking about it, so I was like, "Oh, okay, this is
so basically now Paul Heyman owes Seth a favor because he did not get curb stomp on the end of Raw. But Seth was Seth was talking facts. He told Paul, "Listen, bro, how can you trust Roman? He didn't help you at the Garden when he got destroyed by the Bloodline, and he already kicked you out once before. And then CM Punk, that's your boy, that's your best friend. He left you for 10 years, and he's here to make friends. Money, not friends. Did he help you? And it's like, oh, he's talking some valid shit. And then he was poking the bear. What's up, man? How much you worth? Bro? If I slap you right now, is Punk gonna come out? Like he kept antagonizing him. Then the Punk comes out, tries to curb stomp Seth on the outside. Then he got curb stomped, and then like Paul was about to, but then now Seth did not. It said, "Now you owe me a favor." So now the initial thought we had was Seth. We thought Paul was gonna leave with Seth at WrestleMania, or align himself with Seth at some point. Now, if this happens, it feels more like I'm forced to align myself with, because now I owe this guy a favor, as opposed to being a genuine heel turn, or Paul turning on Roman, or Paul turning on Punk. Now it's like, damn, I gotta go with this guy now because I owe him a favor. Like, I guess they probably kept hearing this from online. Like, damn, they probably got the idea already. We got to switch it up now.
I have an idea.
What's up?
Sir?
Think about the fact that, and I don't know who he hates more. It's probably CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
It's probably CM Punk. Him and Roman have this weird like frenemy. We came in this together. We carried the company. Like, they had their whole moment. I bet Seth's favor has something to do with not being able to align yourself with either one of them. Like, if I win, you can't represent, and he'll pick one, whether that means CM Punk or whether that means Roman Reigns. And remember how I think both of you were agreeing, and I was kind of on the fence on it. I think both of you were agreeing, like, yo, Seth, he's either gonna take the pin or he's gonna win.
I got Seth winning.
I say he
So
might.
if he wins, and let's just say for sake of conversation, I think we all can agree, like Roman after Mania is gonna be a different Roman. It probably won't be Big Dog because that was whack, but I don't think he'll be Tribal Chief because remember at Paul Heyman's Hall of Fame speech, he was like, if I don't have the wise man in my corner, I won't be the Tribal Chief. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what he said.
Yeah.
And so far, they've been sticking to those callbacks. So I would imagine if he somehow pins or beats one way or another CM Punk, maybe that's a stipulation. You can't align with him. But the reason I think they do that, none of them need Paul Heyman. But you know who does need Paul Heyman? Another callback. The Intercontinental Champion,
or Braun Breaker.
Now's the opportunity to go get your next Paul Heyman guy and bring him to the level that they all want him to be on. They got the rocket strapped to his back already. They won, he is in ring phenomenal. He's every bit of stunning.
Yeah.
But it's just his promos are not that great yet. I mean, I think his best one was when he told Jay, nobody in your family's ever beat my family. And it was kind of like, oh shit, all right, you got a little, there's something there. But I mean, that's an easy thing to say.
And that's where Paul can be the mouthpiece for Braun.
You see, you know what I'm saying? Like, because we all know, and personally, I'm waiting on it because I think that would be the thing that would make me really buy in to Braun Breaker as like, oh, okay. He gets Paul Heyman behind him.
Yeah.
Now we're really saying something. So it kind of sets all the chess pieces.
And I'm pretty convinced Braun is losing the IC title at Mania, but that's just to give him the launch pad to the world title. So what better way to set him up for that than having the greatest manager, the greatest talker of all time by his side as he goes to step to Jay, who he has history with, or he goes to step to whoever the WWE champion. Like I would love to see Braun Cena. If Cena wins, I would love to see Braun Cody. So
just to get him in the conversation. And I know y'all remember there was like that first week or like that second week when Braun was doing that transition out of NXT.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman bumped into him and he was like, I've been watching you. Like, you know what I mean? He teased it.
Yeah.
He teased it. So we know we're going to get it. So it kind of sets up like, okay, none of them need him. CM Punk does not need him. Seth Rollins absolutely does not need him. You know what I mean? And I don't even think at this point Roman needs him. It's time for him to raise the next, group, the next crop. Go get some other Paul Heyman guys and bring them up.
But to your point, before Kenny chimes in, I think to your point, if Seth's favor is if I win, you can no longer manage Punk or Roman, then it's like it frees him up to find somebody else.
Right.
What do you think, Kenny?
I think that all these takes in this multiverse, the wrestling multiverse, are phenomenal. All great. From what I saw today, man, it just they just built, like I said on Friday, they're building this whole story they're creating this whole new thing because, we stuck with the Bloodline story, rolled that for about 4 or 5 years now. They're building this now new story with all three of these top guys and the hate they have for each other. And with that, the continuity, if you follow the history. So now it's building off like, all right, we stretch this now into War Games. Oh, we can stretch this to WrestleMania. Now build it all the way into Mania. But guess what? What if we take their own, what they cherish more, what they cherish the most, championships, seeing another guy fail, they're wise men, what they cherish the most, and take that away from them and pin them against each other. So now it's all like in some way, it's no opposition. You don't know who you're gonna win, and it's really good, as Armand said. Like, yeah, Hunter is really doing it well with these three-way beef. So I think that Seth is really teasing us to say, what if Seth and Paul Heyman have a relationship, especially that would be the favor. Or what? Maybe he might save that favor. And Heyman came out like, I don't know about y'all, but I saw tonight like Heyman, the old Paul Heyman, ECW, or before Paul Heyman came out when Seth put his hands on. Don't you dare put your hands on me. I'm like, I haven't
Yeah,
heard that Paul Heyman in a while.
exactly.
So and again, I know Randy, we said this on Friday. I'm like, this is Paul Heyman. This is the guy who built ECW, Brock
Yeah.
Lesnar, One Night Stand, SmackDown General Manager. Why is he playing second best behind Roman Reigns or a CM Punk? Now Seth Rollins, like, we forget who he is. So I
Yeah.
think that's all going to come out, and we're going to see what's going to really happen. But
Yeah.
maybe down the line we're going to see that new way, that new turn. Big dog barking. Hoof, hoof. Braun,
Braun. Yeah.
I'm gonna call you. Gonna call him now. You know, you call him Braun Breaker. His new name gonna be Braun Mother Breaker. You know?
Armin, so what is your take on the overall Punk, Seth, and Roman? How they've been developing the storyline, and now they're gonna be the main event of night one at WrestleMania.
It's great, man. This is a dream match that we're seeing play out in real time, and it's really delivering for me. At first when this was reported that it was going to happen, I was like, just a triple threat with no title on the line. Like, and granted, like they're all big enough stars to do it, but I'm just like, I was interested in just how they were going to get to that point, and it makes perfect sense. You've got the Punk Rollins feud that's been going on since Punk came back. You throw Roman in, you throw in Punk and Roman seeming like they're on good terms, teaming at War Games. Then you have Punk screwing both of them at the Rumble. And then you get to Elimination Chamber. Seth screws Punk. You get that steel cage match. Then you get Roman coming in. And Seth still hasn't gotten a win on Punk either, which is a really important thing. Like, he's never gotten a clean victory over Punk. Punk pinned him at the Netflix debut. Punk got him in the chamber. So it's like, so something's eventually going to have to come around for Seth Rollins, but then you add Roman Reigns to the mix and just all the history that all of them have. It's great, man. These are three of my favorite guys from the last decade and some change, all performing at their highest levels. And I can't wait to see it play out. Like, this is going to be beyond theater and cinema, as we like to call it. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah, because at the same time, Terrence is looking up SummerSlam stuff. I think what I've been seeing out there is that a main event, whether it's night 2 or night 1, could be CM Punk and Roman Reigns, because I think following WrestleMania, you're not going to see much of Roman until SummerSlam. He ain't doing Backlash. He ain't doing Money in the Bank and Night of Champions. He ain't I ain't doing that shit, bro. I see you guys in August. So it could be Punk and Roman Reigns one-on-one, non-title, because it don't need the title right now. Yeah. So that could be a night 1 or even night 2 main event for SummerSlam.
Yeah, no, there's so many things. Like, this is not ending at WrestleMania. Like,
no.
they're gonna have this match and there's gonna be a winner, but there's still so much that you can do on an individual level with Roman and Punk, like you said. And then, like, we're gonna need another Roman Rollins one-on-one match at some point too.
True.
So there's still so many layers to this that we're still not even getting to. But what we have right now, it's fire.
But I'll tell you one thing, T. I know Armin did not see it, but you saw like the heelish Seth Rollins, kind of like peek through a little bit tonight. We keep seeing the same character he's been for a while, but you saw the recall to a throwback heel Seth. It was like, oh shit, like we haven't seen that in quite some time, because now he was getting booed when he kept pushing Paul Heyman. When he smacked Paul Heyman, he wasn't getting cheered, obviously. So the callback, oh shit, like now is he dipping his toes into that eventual heel turn, which I think we're all waiting for. So I think when you leave WrestleMania, Roman's a good guy, Punk's a good guy, but I think Seth has to be the one to go from the good guy to the bad guy when it's all said and done.
I can see it. And we in favor Mania right now, so everyone got a favor. But this will be, and you know what? I got a prediction. I'm probably gonna call it.
Oh,
because
what we got? What we got?
So if we continue with this, if was said before, we get Seth and Roman somewhere down the line. I won't be surprised if we will have possibly, if not Seth versus Roman, Seth versus Punk, in some type of war game showdown. If they drag this out and they work this ready, like Seth is on the receiving end, Seth's team, which is probably going to be composed of some people within that have a mutual connection, which either hating Roman Reigns or hating Punk, possibly final boss related, but that's neither here or there.
That's Seth, Drew McIntyre, those guys.
And you bring that up, and that also sparks in because guess who's probably going to be the next matchup? Roman versus Rock at Mania. So that's
which has to happen, bro.
That's so if you get Seth to join in with the final boss's associates, you already got something right there.
Yeah.
So that could be down the line. And next, you know what? We have a mutual enemy. I hate you, Roman. You hate me, Punk. But guess what? We hate this mother right here the most.
Say it, this motherfucker right here. We hate him too.
Hey man,
wait, that guy.
I here's me trying to tell kids to stop cursing, and I'm cursing.
Oh, man. Bro, they're cursing on Netflix. Cody Rhodes is cursing on Netflix. It's over now. It's over now.
Hey,
he told John Cena he's a piece of shit.
You say go.
Randy, that's not very PG, Randy.
Yeah.
Tell Cody that.
Hey,
tell Cody that.
Randy just
that's your world champion, by the way.
Randy's just tired of Cody saying enough every time.
That's right.
That's his promo.
Enough. This is bullshit. Like, yeah.
That's the dad in him coming out.
Hey, but what do you gentlemen think? Do you think possibly down the line, if they was to play this out, do y'all think that we can see possibly Seth, Roman, or Punk, like this can go further into like the war games, and they can even transpire into a Rumble prediction?
I'll tell you one thing, and then this is the running joke. I'll let T or Armin go next. Kenny, I love Kenny. His if he had the pen, every match would be, every culmination of a few would be a War Games match, a First Blood match, a Hell in a Cell match, or a fucking Last Man Standing. He always mentions like this could end in a Last Man Standing match, Hell in a Cell, First Blood. I'm like, that's not how it goes. That's not how it works all the time. But I think to Kenny's point, you have to get Rock and Roman. You have to get that at some point in time. Please. You have to get Roman and Seth. You have to get Cody and The Rock at some point in time. You're gonna get Punk and Roman as early as August. Regular matches, these are all non-title matches. You're finally seeing Roman in a space where he's fighting, but it's not for the title. He was in that title picture for 4 years, and we're good. Do I want him to be a champion again? Sure. But right now, he doesn't need to be in that equation. CM Punk needs to be in that heavyweight championship conversation at some point in time. So does Seth Rollins. I think SummerSlam is Roman and Punk before I even get Roman and Rollins. That's my prediction. Which is not a hot take, but just,
I two things to say. One, Florida just won on a hell of a play.
Man,
what a comeback. It was a wild way to win or
to discontinue.
Two,
Houston, what is you doing?
It was a wild, like he didn't shoot it. It was wild. Like
he dropped it. He didn't want to get a travel, but
wow. At that point, you're already on the. Come on, just shoot the ball. Like don't drop it. Anyway, but
they got all the cameras right in Kid's face. Like, damn, bro.
I mean, I agree with everything you said, Randy. The only thing I'm not sure that I need personally, I don't know if I need Cody versus Rock. Because what do we get out of it? Do we need Cody versus? Now we absolutely need Cody. We absolutely need Roman versus Rock, but I don't know if I need.
Well, Cody said it himself in an interview. This part, just him speaking. that 2 matches The Rock needs to have is Cody against Rock and Rock against Roman. So
okay, I mean that's
he said
his
himself.
wishful thinking, right? Like he wants it.
Of course he does. He should.
I feel like, and I'm not mad if we get it, but I just feel like at this point, the one we absolutely need is Rock versus Roman, right? Like that's basically Hogan versus Rock. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Except now Rock is the all-time icon, even though, I don't rock with Hogan.
Of course not.
Any month. You know what I mean?
Fuck that guy.
Hey, that's not PG, man.
Pardon my French. My bad.
We should play Mark Henry's DJ set.
Oh,
where he has Iron Sheik saying "fuck off."
We coming? Nah, okay.
Oh no, Hulk Hogan be coming for nah. We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
I do have a question. I'm curious what you guys think.
All right, so Armin, you answer this question.
All right.
I'm curious about, and if you guys jumped into it already, like please stop me. But I just feel like we need Randy at Mania.
Oh, thank you. I'll be there. Thank you.
You too, Randy. But I mean Randy Orton. I'm so upset about the fact that we don't have Randy Cruz. That's the match I want. Randy Cruz versus Randy Orton. Battle of the Randys. And we put a Randy belt at the top and it's a ladder match.
How much would it take for say, yo, you go to WrestleMania and you gotta take an RKO from Randy Orton? Are you like, yo, bro, I'll do it for free because that's my guy? Or like, nah, bro, it's got to be some bread.
Okay, that's exactly what I was going to say. I would definitely take it for free.
What kind of RKO? Yeah. Is it a standing RKO or is it like I jumped off of something? If I jumped off of something, just tell my family I love them now because I'm not going to make it.
Oh, like an Evan Bourne, like a
standing RKO, I could take a standing RKO. I could take that. I feel like he's professional enough that I wouldn't get hurt. I'd be all right.
Nah, you gotta like jump from top of the cage like the War Games joint, and then take an RKO or do the Seth Rollins the curb stop up in the air and it come down.
Exactly. I'm not
flying in the air that 5 man.
How much you talking about? Like
I'll take $10,000.
$10,000 for you take $10,000 for RKO at WrestleMania.
I'll start off slow because come on, man. They'll be like, yo, I'll start slow.
If I get to run the ropes, so I have momentum, I'll take that or a standing RKO. Other than that, I can't do it. It's just gonna look bad, And I would if it meant being able to be a part of WrestleMania history, I take it for free.
Easily.
Okay, hold up. So Armin, Shawn Michaels is Terrence's guy, right? Okay. So Terrence, how much would it take for you to do what Shelton Benjamin did to jump on a top rope and then take a sweet chin music to the face?
Now at this age,
sweet chin music to the face, but you got to jump off the top rope like Shelton Benjamin did.
I don't think me or Sean could do either part at this age. Like I'm not jumping off of that, and I don't know that Sean can get his leg that high anymore.
Are you doing for free? Because that's your boy. You want a couple dollars.
If we're talking 10 years ago, Sean, and 10 years ago, Terrence, absolutely for free. Are you kidding me? I would pay to have that happen. Okay. I'd pay Sean.
It depends.
To have that happen 10 years ago.
Well, Randy, are you gonna take the spear for free from Braun Breaker?
Oh boy, I'm getting paid for that shit.
Yeah.
I need bread, bro. You saw ISO Speed at the Rumble, and then who was tonight?
Carlito,
bro.
Who was
jumped?
Who was holding Braun Breaker's voodoo doll and just throwing it? Like this guy just came out of nowhere, just drew. He got thrown like a kid throws Lego.
I need bread to take that spear, bro.
Yeah. He somehow like tore skin off of his leg. He didn't even hit him in the leg. He just got hit hard.
Your man jumped 10 feet, then hit Carlito.
I think.
Oh, I was talking about that one.
Iyo Speed.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was.
Speed probably cut his leg when what's his name did the fallaway slam on the table.
Otis.
Otis, yeah.
Is that when he cut his leg?
Yeah, that's probably when it happened.
Wow.
I mean, Yeah, that's more feasible, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
mean,
don't try this at home, right?
right? Yeah,
Look,
they
hey man,
I don't
Braun
think he's gonna want any more of those spots. I'll say that.
Braun Spear is so good because obviously he came up playing football. Like that's like real form tackling, hit stick, like Sean
Yeah.
Taylor type hits. So him, I would need at least $1 million, at least,
Wow.
at least $1 million,
Bro. His spear, bro?
at
Him and
least
like
$1 million.
early Goldberg joint. Nah, bro, we're not doing free,
Yeah.
bro. No.
You're
You're
not
gonna break me in half.
ain't using the
Nah,
bathroom right for a week or 2 weeks.
Ah.
bro, I'm not getting off the couch for a week, bro.
Yo, but just to what I was talking about before, though, I'm curious.
Yeah.
What do you guys think happens, or would you want something to happen with Randy? Like, I have an idea, but I want to hear what you guys think first.
Armin, go first.
Randy definitely needs to be at Mania. He's one of those staples. You know, it's crazy. We only just got him back. He's only been back for like a year and some change. And he great match with KO and Logan last year. I was really looking forward to the KO singles match this year. Definitely wishing the best for KO and his recovery. But there's a couple different things that they can do. They can give some shine to a young star coming up. We could do Randy Mello again. We could do maybe Randy. I know some people don't love him, but Randy Theory, maybe Randy Grayson Waller. But there's also some people who have recently signed back to the company who you could re-debut at Mania or re-debut before and build up real quick. There's a guy by the name of Miro/Rusev. There's a guy that's been teased by the name of Aleister Black via those vignettes. So there's a couple of different directions you can go. I think that the one I'd be most interested in is a returning superstar, but I know Randy is so invested in pushing the new generation forward that I think he'd welcome, you know, a match with Mello at Mania or a match with some young star. So that's what I want to see.
I'm in the camp of either Miro, Rusev, Aleister Black, because him RKOing Nick Aldis on SmackDown opens the door. Like, hey, I can't compete, but I'm gonna find you an opponent for WrestleMania. And now someone, you know, they return, and aside from that, Carmelo will be good. I saw someone put Randy and Sheamus. I'm like, I don't know about all that. Because you have to get him on the card. So we're not gonna do no Bobby Lashley bring out the trophy and just wait to the crowd type shit. We're not doing that. And it's like pretty much everybody has a match to some degree. That's like, all right, because you're about a week and a half away from Mania. Everything we're booking the shit now.
Yeah.
So if it ain't Black, if it ain't Rusev or Carmelo, then I don't know what they do with Orton. Yeah. Kenny,
I think I will. Some names. I will go with Rusev, Aleister Black, Carmelo. Him and Carmelo work well. Again, now in this state, Randy's really pushing the younger talent, the younger guys now. Different mindset, different viewing. So caps off to that. But a random name just came to my mind, and I won't be surprised. It will be an amazing reaction because everyone sings Randy's songs anyway. But if you get Randy Orton, and guess who's going to be there? The man that they believe, because you believe in this man, I believe in this man. You bring in Joe Hendry and Randy Orton, that will be interesting as hell.
I love the creativity, Ken. I love the creativity.
Okay.
Put this man a pen.
Joe Hendry, War Games matches, and First Blood. That's your guy right there.
Yo,
those are your gimmicks, Kenny.
Hey, you got man. Look, man.
I like it.
We had Mark Henry and Mae Young make a baby. We don't.
And it was just a foot.
That is a fact.
You're right.
We can create a lot more. Like, come on. Like, you bring, more with TNA, Randy Orton. Like, besides the names and the internet sensation, Joe Hendry is the TNA champion, and his skill set is pretty well. I mean, size wise, they almost about the same frame now since Randy's put on like what 40 or 45 pounds of muscles. So that will be pretty interesting. Their skill set, their moves. It's just Randy's a lot more. He's done it in more both a lower class and a heavyweight class, so he's able to be more agile in both categories. So,
well, you know who does not have a match as of right now? I mean, you probably everybody, yeah. We love Liv Morgan here.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
we love Liv Morgan.
Me too. She from Jersey. I'm from Jersey. It's love.
Yeah, come on, man. Solo does not have a match. Now, do you want to see Solo and Orton? I don't know, but Solo, we thought it was going to be Solo and Jacob, but now it's Jacob and LA Knight for the U.S. title. And then what is Solo doing?
He's gonna
corner, right? Yeah, I don't hate that.
He might be screwing Jacob, man.
That's right.
That's what it's feeling like. It's feeling like we about to get some more Tubi cinema from them boys. That's what it's feeling like.
Who you got, Terrence? Who would you have in mind?
Honestly, you guys have ran down, pretty much at least one scenario that I'm leaning towards, which is him and Melo. The two of them had a great match. To your points, Randy's definitely the locker room leader, right? Like he's taking that over. He's taking that mantle over, and it's one that's earned. Which is it's also funny, right? Like the two knuckleheads are running the company, and the two assholes are the locker room leaders now, like and everybody's uncles. But I guess that's just maturity, right? Like, and this would be nothing more than a full-on stamp as like, no, I want to push the young talent because Melo deserves it. I'm not taking anything away from Tiffany or Lyra or Braun. They're all incredible. But Melo, he was probably the most ready, other than Tiffany, I would argue, coming out of NXT. And I know there's a lot of internet talk about why he's not getting, or it's a build. I appreciate the build, but I do think it would be cool to see him be able to prove like, no, I can put on the best match of my life in my first WrestleMania with, a bona fide first ballot Hall of Famer, in Randy Orton. But if we don't get that, I don't ask me. Oh, well, please, yes, do ask me why. I know we have enough triple threat matches. However, I'd actually love to see, just for the way I feel like they would work and how good the match would be, I would like to see him in the match with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it would be mad interesting.
A third triple threat?
It's a lot of triple threat matches.
That's
Don't
right.
get me wrong. However, would any one of us not want to see that?
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
It would be a fucking banger. All three of them, different stages of their career. You know what I mean? Like
triple era.
Yo, it would just be really. I feel like their styles mesh well. They all have that like a little bit of like sinister aggression to them. You know what I mean? I make it a first blood match, make Kenny happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
a first blood triple threat match.
First blood submission match.
An eye for an eye because Drew has an eye patch on.
Nah, but for real,
That's
those
crazy.
are the two ways I was thinking about it. And I'm like, if we go now, the harder part would be how do we work him into the match with Drew and Damian, because they've built it so well.
Yeah,
it would be a little bit harder to just throw him in there. But if we were going to go with like the Melo one, at this point, this is how I would go if I had the pen. Listen, we know Randy's a legend. The fans are not dumb. We know we want to see him. Have Randy come out, have him open and basically open challenge, right? To the back, have the locker, you know what I'm saying? Like have an open challenge as the opening match. And then we hear Melo's music, and then he comes out, and then we get the match. Just because it'd be harder to build a feud that anyone would believe.
So before I get into two things, to put a bow on Orton, there's a stat out there. I don't know if you guys seen it, but the stat is Randy Orton has not won a single match at a PLE since WrestleMania 37.
Oh, wow.
And if you do the math, I went to summer school twice for math. We're 41 now. You're trying to tell me 4 years that Randy Orton all-time legend, Hall of Famer, Viper, all that guy, has not won a match at a PLE in 4 years. Now, mind you, I know he was injured.
Yeah.
For a good time, but still, like, it's 38, it's 39. He can't win a fucking match.
Yeah, and I mean that's a good way to have him and Melo in the match. For Melo, none of us would care that Melo wins. It would just be the fact that they get a chance to fight.
There's one more guy out there. There's one more guy who does not have a match at Mania.
Who?
And it's in the Kevin Owens realm. Sami Zayn.
But isn't he supposed to be like hurt? I don't know.
I don't know. Hey, Sammy, yo, your boy's hurt. Come back. Like, I don't know.
They nearly killed each other in freaking Toronto.
Yeah, but they made up though. You know how shit goes. They're good now. It's either Sammy, Melo, Solo, Aleister Black, or Rusev for Randy Orton. And does Randy have to win? Look at that stat. 4 years.
I would give it to him.
Yeah. I think if he's facing one of the returning guys like Rusev or Aleister, he's losing.
Yes,
he's losing that match, and people would understand it. It would be completely fine. It would play into, I think, the heel turn we all believe is coming, anyways. So
for Orton,
yeah.
Damn, when is Orton turn heel for the 18th time against Cody Rhodes? Armin, when would you want Orton to turn? Because mind you, Backlash is next month in St. Louis.
I was just about to say that. What
do you do with Orton then?
It's either you have him turn on the build to Backlash or you have him turn at Backlash, because they love doing those fake outs in people's hometowns. Like Vince used to love having people lose in their hometowns. Yeah. H does different things. Sometimes you win in your hometown. Sometimes you turn heel in your hometown. You get your ass beat in your hometown. I think, assuming maybe they do a Cody Cena rematch at Backlash and Cena has some help, Randy comes out, helps out Cody, makes him think everything is good. Then he turns on him there, and then we get to it.
So Randy would be the third guy in this Rock Cena alliance.
Well, I don't know if Randy would align with them or just be, doing his own snake solo type thing.
Okay.
But, either way, it would be really intriguing for him to turn and then to put that question in people's mind, like, yo, did Randy Orton sell his soul too, or is he just doing his own thing? So,
because I don't know if the KO injury derails a few things, where you could have had a heel Cena against a good guy Orton at Backlash, which I don't know if that was in the cards, but now with KO being hurt, do you kind of expedite something where, like, damn, okay, now we probably need Orton to do a turn, but now turn on Cody, and then you do Cody and Orton instead at Backlash, and then save Orton and Cena for before Cena's over with.
Yeah, there's a couple different interesting directions, but it seems like Randy's been hearing those voices the last few weeks. He's been teasing that punt kick.
That's right.
He's been a little extra aggressive, a little extra angry, like RKO and Nick Aldis. Even if face Randy, heel Randy, whatever, he'll RKO whoever he wants. But
yeah,
I feel like the prospect of potentially missing Mania, the frustration he's feeling, the fact that he came back, targeted Roman Reigns, and then he had to challenge for the title in a fatal four-way. Like, he's never even gotten a proper singles title match since he's been back. And that was what he came back for. So I think you can, weave all those things together into a pretty damn good heel turn.
So if you guys don't know, this is the official WrestleMania card as of today. So we got Cena, Cody, we got Seth, Punk, Roman. I'm gonna get to the women's triple threat in a second, but Rhea, Iyo, and Bianca triple threat. Gunther and Jey Uso, Tiffy and Charlotte, which got very interesting recently. LA Knight, Jacob. So we got the fatal four-way now. IC title, Dominic, Braun Breaker, Penta, and Finn Balor. Jade and Bianca. Jade and Naomi. Rey Mysterio and what's the guy's name?
El Grande Americano.
That's right. Yeah, Chad Gable. And then AJ and Logan Paul. So we got 1, 2, 4, 6, we got 10 matches so far at WrestleMania.
Might put 2 more on there.
Yeah, They're doing a tag gauntlet for the women on Friday to determine who faces Liv and Raquel.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember, what am I missing? I feel like New Day is gonna have something.
The men's tag, yeah.
Mhm.
What about Chelsea? Chelsea won't have anything.
I don't think she's making the card, man.
I don't know, bro.
She's making it.
Cause you saw even Bailey, and you know, for the IC title.
Yeah,
Like,
Bailey
what are we
Lara.
doing with her? Like, probably nothing. I don't know.
Is Dakota Kai still injured?
Nah, I just saw her like last week, right?
Yeah, she wrestled a couple weeks ago.
I don't think she has. I don't think there's nothing for her to really do. It's all around Iyo, and she's just left in the aloof. She doesn't.
I mean, to your point though, that's what I'm saying. Like, why don't we have her and Chelsea? You know what I mean? Like, that would be a great match.
She's on Raw. Chelsea's on SmackDown.
So from 1 to 10, Armin, what's your hypeness for WrestleMania 40, like 41? Are you ready? Are you more like what is it? 1 to 10?
I'm ready, man. I'm super
Okay.
hyped. I'd give it a 9. I'd give it a 9.
Wow.
For sure.
Yeah,
there's some really great stories being built. We're gonna get to the women's triple threat later, like you said, but Cody Cena I've loved, Roman Punk Seth I've loved, Gunther Jey Uso I've really liked, despite the internet giving it hell. Tiffany Charlotte got hot in the last 2 weeks.
Did it?
Jacob LA, you know, it's fine. Dom, Finn, Braun, Penta, that's fire. Jade and Naomi is fire. And
Yep.
AJ Logan, even though it's been slowly built for the last couple months, but I think it's going to be an amazing match. And I mean, seeing Rey Mysterio and Chad Gable wrestle, 2 amazing wrestlers, I'm never mad at that. So I'm really into all this. Like, I only see one match right now that's a real, like, all right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna go refill my drink. I'm gonna grab some snacks, and that's LA Jacob Fatu. But I want to make sure I get back for the finish so I can see if Solo turns on him. So yeah.
Okay.
Wait a minute, I have a question to that.
Yeah.
Why is, I get you saying of all the matches, that's the one that you're like, okay, this would be, but I don't know if it's a bathroom break match like that. It's Jacob. I will say this: it's Jacob Fatu's first Mania.
Right.
Yes.
He's going to put on a show.
Yeah.
I feel like I love LA Knight. I was so disappointed when he wasn't actually in LA. I feel like we wasted a little bit of his run. You know, by not giving him a more important belt earlier on, but here nor there. I just don't see them not putting on. Now, the story, totally with you. Of all the stories, probably the least interesting outside of maybe AJ's and
Logan.
Yeah, AJ and Logan just is like their styles are going to match. No pun intended. You know what I mean? But I just feel like there's no way Jacob Fatu is not going to put on for his first WrestleMania.
He's not winning.
I don't think he's going to win.
No. Because Solo's gonna make him lose.
Yeah, I'm torn on who's gonna win, but for me, Jacob has some really impressive spots. Yeah. I don't love his overall wrestling style. Like it doesn't really appeal to me. Like he's got an amazing pop up Samoan drop. His moonsault is really cool. I don't like his finisher. I don't really like his. Like his matches aren't compelling to me in the way, like, I think Tama Tonga is a better wrestler than him personally. Wow. I think Jimmy Uso puts on better overall matches. I think Jay through his storytelling puts on better matches. Jacob right now is kind of just like just those few spots you're waiting for. He executes those really well, and he's going up against LA, who has improved, but LA's matches aren't all that interesting to me either. So.
Wow, hold on. Let me DM Jacob real quick and tell you what you.
Hey man,
all gas, no breaks.
He don't love you, Armin. He don't love you,
man. Yeah, yada I mean.
Yo, my only gripe with Jacob has nothing to do with Jacob. It's his entry music. It's not. It should be full on Bay Area rap inspired.
I like it.
Whatever they got going for him right now.
It's like stock music.
Yeah, like it just feels like he's not rock and roll. He's not. He is full on Bay Area rap. We've all seen that interview where they ask him like, "Oh, like and he pretty much confirms that he is a real one, and he didn't say one, but I wouldn't tell him not to say it because he was like, all right, well, he kind of fits, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I ain't mad at
he
you.
is a full on Bay Area guy, like what I'm saying. It should not be a rock song. It's other than that, I love Jacob.
Yeah. My last point before we get out of here, fellas. Oh boy, as
The
hold
triple
up.
threat women's.
Yes, right. Triple threat women's world championship between Iyo, Bianca, and now Rhea Ripley. I'll start off here, Arbit. Why is Bianca getting booed? I mean, she's getting booed like she's the bad guy, and she's not. And people would just love Rhea Ripley so much they just tunnel vision, like, oh, Bianca won the chamber, which is a fact. She earned the right to be at WrestleMania, which is a fact. And Rhea just kind of snuck her way in, but the fans are cheering. They love her. I get it. But are we seeing like a little turn over here with Bianca forcefully because she ain't doing shit wrong?
It feels like the turn is being soft launched, and I think it started with her being ringside for that Rhea Iyo match. Because realistically, why I get it, like you want to scout your opponent, but you fought these two a lot throughout your career. You know them really well. So you could have been in the back watching on the screen. Everybody else watches in the back on the screen with Jackie Redmond or Kathy next to them talking. Like, you ain't really need to be out there. And then to be cheering on Iyo. So let me present this scenario to you. I don't know if y'all play 2K or college football or any of those games, but
long time,
all right, there we go. So imagine you are playing somebody that you've never beat before, and there's money on the line. And then your homie is in the room cheering on the person you're facing that you've never beaten before. Well, wouldn't you feel away?
Yeah, what you doing, bro?
Yo, like, what's up with you?
No, just because you can't beat me, don't do that shit to me.
Yeah, so that's how Rhea feels towards Bianca. And so H has done such a good job in making us sympathize for Rhea in everything she's gone through. She lost her family. She lost her boyfriend. She finally gets the title back after months of chasing it. And then she gets a short reign because her friend, who was supposed to be her friend, comes out and distracts her. And now, granted, Rhea's also been childish. And Charlotte pointed it out in that first promo after Royal Rumble. She called her a child. So we're seeing Rhea is lacking maturity. So she's not fully absolved of guilt, but Bianca looks pretty crazy here too. And she's been constantly like trying to deny Rhea the opportunity. And like, Rhea was owed a rematch. She got it, but then Bianca was the guest ref and then double DQs both of them.
But she didn't ask for that.
She didn't ask for it.
Pierce.
But, you know, it was just like tensions were so high between them. It was only a matter of time before, you know, Bianca didn't count fast enough or something. It was like it was inevitable. So I think both of them are at fault in this. But Bianca's really leaning into the, you don't deserve this opportunity. You didn't earn this. I earned this, blah, 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 which makes her kind of the pseudo villain in the situation.
And plus the fact that before T goes, the fact that Iyo is a champion, and the last couple of weeks you seen Rhea and Bianca just kind of like push Iyo to the side, like, yo, girl, you ain't shit. This is about me and her. Like, oh, okay, I'm the champion. You know what I'm saying? Like, then you have this thing where Rhea has never beaten Iyo one-on-one. You also have this undefeated streak going on for Bianca at WrestleMania. She also has this thing with her two best friends going at it. So it's a lot going on involving these 5 women that's going to play out at WrestleMania. So it's like seeing her get booed. I'm kind of like, I want to be okay with it, but I'm like, what did she do to earn that? If she just spitting facts, okay, they're booing her off facts. And the fact that Rhea is such a hot commodity and she's over to the moon, they don't care what she does. We're gonna cheer for Rhea Ripley. But Bianca, you still going back to Jade and Bianca, there's something about you I don't like, I don't trust. So
Yeah.
now that's probably why the boos are coming from, whether here or overseas. Now it's like now it's beginning to pile on, and now you have this triple threat match finally at WrestleMania. So, T, what do you think?
Well,
Oh,
I have a different outlook
Uh-oh.
as to why she
oh
may have been
shit.
getting viewed and booed in Europe.
Okay.
We
I
know.
think it has a little bit more to do with I don't know, maybe her hue. I mean, I hate to say it because I know we all like to, we appreciate it as entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
She gets booed every time she's overseas anyway. Her and other wrestlers, it's just weird. Now, what I will say though, to the point of your analogy of why couldn't she just watch? That's fair. Maria has been, how many times has Maria been women's champion now? Three, four times.
2, 3 times.
Maybe
She,
two,
Okay,
three.
enough.
she won the Women's World twice. She held the Raw title once, NXT title once. I want to say like 4 times.
Right. If we're including NXT, we'll call it four. If not, we'll call it three. That
Okay.
sounds like a veteran to me. If you're a veteran, it shouldn't matter who's ringside. It shouldn't matter who's cheering for who. You take care of your business.
That's right.
That's exactly what Charlotte called her out on. You're not the vet yet. You know what I mean? You're not in my stratosphere yet. Because if you were, you would just take care of business. All this immature, this guy took my man stuff wouldn't matter to you. You would just be a retaining champion.
Hold on. If I'm not counting NXT, she's a one-time Raw Women's Champion and a two-time Women's World Champion. So 3 times total.
Right.
Yep.
Three without NXT, four if we give her
Yes.
that one.
Yeah.
But either way, that sounds like somebody who knows how to win.
Exactly.
Since you know how to win, you shouldn't be distracted by the fact that Bianca was cheering for both of y'all because she was clapping
Yeah.
and concerned when things were happening on either side. Let's call it what it is.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like Bianca was just, she was in ringside scouting. And if anything, maybe she want to see like, yo, maybe there's a weak spot. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe there's something I need to be worried about. I don't think there's anything wrong with Bianca sitting ringside. I think Rhea should have just handled business, and because she didn't, here we are.
Kenny?
Like I see how they adapt to it. Like if anything, Bianca's doing a phenomenal job, like adapting and reading the room and reading how everything's going. Because now we have social media, and so everyone now that's just a easy portal for them to observe and see. Like, all right, it just gives them an easier review sheet for them to prepare for when they come in that night. So if you saw how a lot of the stories are not told, by their same, but also too by their appearance and how they present themselves. Bianca's always coming with the very vibrant colors, very colorful. But we seen like within, the beef that happened between Jade and Naomi, she was wearing black. That scene that, sequence to like what? The death of a friendship, death of a funeral. Tonight, before reference to that, she came out, all sad, like the clothes are very like loose fitting, droopy or so. But tonight, it came out very like how she usually dressed EST or so, but it was like all black, all hitting, like black lipstick, the clothes and everything. So it was just fitting, and Bianca was prepared for the change up, like living between a gray area as said before, like a villain, but like a mercenary. I'm thinking like the field of like staying as a merc. So when Rhea was, getting all the chance, she was taking it and absorbing it. And then, when Rhea wanted to start, she's just like, oh, shut up. Just sign it. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right, Bianca, you tired of this?
Yeah.
Like, yo, it's on the fence, like, yo, I've been trying with you all this time, and you've been making me out to be this bad person. Like I did this. All right, you know what? You want me to be bad? I'm gonna show you who's bad. And so I'm thinking this is all going to stretch out from everything. And this story is not going to be done because Jade, Naomi has their own, and I still think, even though we know Bianca's involvement, she's going to be dealing with two stories. That's Jade and Naomi, and then and Iyo. So
yeah,
I think that's going to be an interesting turn, and I still think Iyo probably will come out, but I still think we're going to have something that's going to happen between either Rhea, Bianca further on, or something else is going to be going on between Naomi and Jade as well.
So Armin, now with it being official, triple threat, Rhea, Iyo, Bianca. Who did you have winning this match prior to it becoming a triple threat, and now with it being official, who do you got winning?
Whew, man. I mean, when I first thought it was Bianca Rhea, I thought that Rhea was going to win. She was going to end the streak and send Bianca on this year-long redemption story, kind of like Cena Rock when Rock won the first match. Then when it became Bianca Iyo, I was like, damn, I think Bianca's taking it. Now that it's a triple threat, the triple threat match, as we all know, being wrestling fans, it opens up the no disqualification rules. So that could play into Bianca's hand, and it made me think about her kind of enthusiasm at Rhea being officially added. Like, oh, she knows that she can now take advantage of the fact that there's no DQ and possibly win on some slimy shit, fully lean into the heel thing. There's been some fantasy booking me and my boys have been doing. But before Naomi admitted that she was the one who beat up Jade, we were like, yo, what if Bianca got some shooters coming up from NXT like a Lash Legend and a Jakara Jackson? And I mean, even though Naomi's admitted to it, Bianca's kind of just shifted away from the story. That don't mean Bianca wasn't involved. Like, it's very possible Bianca and Naomi could be in cahoots, or Naomi and Lash and Jakara could have been in cahoots, and Bianca kind of puppeteered the whole thing. So there's a lot of interesting possibilities here.
Yeah,
I do think that similar to this third wheel thing that I've been talking about a lot, Iyo is going to come out the winner. It's just a matter of how we get there. Do we see Jade come out and take Bianca out? Who gets involved and takes Rhea out? Is it Rhea taking the pin? Is it Bianca taking the pin? But I'm leaning towards Miss Sky walking away the victor here. And this is probably my it might be neck and neck with Cody Cena for my most anticipated match. But then you also got Roman Punk Rollins. Like, it's woof. This is gonna be something, man.
I think I've read that this might be night 2.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's just a matter of where on the card, because Cody and Cena are gonna main event night 2.
Yep.
Do you open up night 2 with this match, or do you have it like in the middle somewhere to be like a double main event kind of vibe? Where should it go?
Yeah, I remember last year they had Bailey Iyo go right before Cody Roman, and I think that's a good spot. The match right before the main event, like, typically people are very, very attentive. People have had some time to refill drinks, hit the bathroom. Like, they're in their seats, locked in for the rest of the night.
Oh yeah, from the Jigger Fatu match.
Exactly. So I think that's a really good spot for them. But I don't know. It could open night 2. I do think Jay Gunther is gonna open night 1.
I don't like that though, bro.
That's dope.
No,
that's dope, man. Start the show off with the Yeats.
Nah, I was telling Terrence last week that for that visual, you want the nighttime visual with the Yeet and all the lights in the crowd, like doing that shit at 3:00 in the afternoon. I was like, what is that? And the way they built it up earlier tonight with the story about Gunther attacking my family and Jimmy Uso and this and that. I'm not afraid of you no more. I think they're really getting into the more seriousness of the story, like that. Now it don't sound like an opening match to the entire rest. I mean, that's gonna be like when the sun goes down, it gets a little dark outside. Now we're gonna start this shit. Like, that can go right before Punk Roman and Seth, if you ask me, or right in the middle where Daniel Bryan and Kofi was at 35, like right there. That's probably the perfect spot. Not at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, it would actually be a really cool visual if like Jay is walking back with the title and then Roman is walking to go to Gorilla and they kind of dap up or something. That actually be pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
It is the graphic you showed earlier, Randy. Is that not the order right now, or that's just the?
I think that's just
the
Just
card.
I mean, it looks like it felt pretty consistent, but like to y'all's point, like it has both the main events, right?
no,
And then
because
like,
they have the two women's on the left hand side, and that's not going to happen on the same night. I don't think. I think Charlotte and Tiff are going Saturday, and I think Rhea and them are going Sunday.
okay, speaking of Charlotte and Tiff, I'm glad you brought it up.
Yes.
Do we think that was a work or was it real?
That was off script. That was some real hatred.
Mm-hmm.
That was real hatred, bro.
I didn't mind it. Because you know why? Everybody in the world was talking about that, and prior to that, nobody would talk about Charlotte and Tiffany.
Yeah,
because there was just no story behind it, and they're trying to build all these stories at the last minute. I get it, but from that point on to what was real, what's not, was kayfabe, was off script, on script. Now it's like, okay, I want to see that match now because now they blur the lines of what was real and what was not because what Tiffany said about Charlotte being divorced 0-3 and then Kaiser DMs like, yo, what's going on? Like now it's like, okay, now this sounds gossipy, this sounds controversial, but hey, but you know what, next time they're on screen I want to see what they're gonna say because it was interesting to see Charlotte get rattled by the crowd. Now that part I feel like that was like legit, like they got to her for whatever reason, which is kind of weird because she's a veteran. She's been in for quite some time. Why would the Chicago crowd of all crowds make her not get her promo out? Because the crowd was so behind Tiffany, and which is good because the week prior, Charlotte got at Tiffany in that split screen joint. And we're like, damn, so like Charlotte really destroyed Tiffany. And this was a way to get back some momentum, which she got it, and then some. Now it's like, oh shit. Did Charlotte okay the 0-3 divorce stuff? Like we just don't know, but no matter what, we're still talking about it right now.
Yeah.
What do you think, Armin?
Yeah. I loved the promo Friday. I think just serving Charlotte a slice of humble pie is not easy. She don't make it easy for people to do with her. And I think whoever charged up Tiffany to bring up those very specific things that clearly got to her, like you could see Charlotte's face change. Like this was not a work. This was not fun anymore. She was.
But did you think rattled. Charlotte had to? Okay, like if Tiffy mentioned that or was going to, Charlotte must have been like, yo, all right, you're good to say that. It can't just be like that.
I don't know. I don't know, man. It like because that Kaiser DMs line at the end, it felt very desperate. It felt like she knew she lost. She had to get something in.
Yeah,
if had already left the ring, like it just seemed like I gotta get something. Like
skedaddled the ring.
Yeah, like this is my Hail Mary. So I genuinely believe like the parts about her being 25, drinking in her daddy's basement, trying to play volleyball. Like I think she was genuinely caught off guard by that. The whole stuff about her divorces, she talked about that on national TV throughout the week. So she had to know that was probably coming eventually. But I really think that she was rattled, and I loved it.
But that's what made
good TV.
That's what made me ask, because to your point, Randy, like now we all care, and I feel like especially someone like Charlotte, at least okaying, like go for it, because they knew like up until this point, what's the biggest thing that happened? What Tiffy did a greatest moonsault ever off the top of the stanchion. Okay, none of us cared. You know what I mean? Like, but now we're all like, oh, wait a minute, I want to see them throw down.
There was no story.
Yeah.
So part of me feels like maybe it was a little from A, a little from B. Maybe like she definitely didn't expect the crowd to like. I think the crowd part was actually way more real than anything else. Like like you said, Randy, I think she knew like okay, like she gave the okay to mention the whole divorce thing because like she just talked about it, right? Like and so okay, cool. But I don't think she thought the crowd was gonna like side that much with Tiffany. And maybe Tiffany just ran with a few things and decided like
Tiffany was trying to say something prior, and I think she mumbled or stuttered.
She said
and
shit.
then she said shit, and then Charlotte was like, it's squeaky, I can't hear you, squeaky. I think she was going on for that because I think Tiffany fucked up the line. So Charlotte was getting at her, I can't hear you, squeaky, squeaky. Then Tiffany came out with the 0-3, and then it was like, oh shit. Like that was her way to come back. Like, this ain't gonna be 2 weeks in a row that you get me live on TV, and it's like, damn, like I'm the champion. You're making the champ look bad now. So like I have to do something. While I got the Chicago crowd on my side, I gotta do something to like get at you, like, oh shit. And that was the proper moment to do it. And then with the DM line, I'm like, okay, this is but I didn't care. Now I'm like, I want to see Tiffy and Charlotte go at it because there's something to it. Who wins? I still think it's Tiffy. I think.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I don't think Charlotte wins this. I don't think Charlotte was winning even prior to this.
I don't think it would be smart to have Charlotte win. This has been the least well received return I've seen since like when Jinder came back last year and had the title match with Seth. Like it's on that level. Like people are, I think Charlotte, for being a vet, she has this very like heightened perception of herself, which rightfully earned. Great resume, daughter of a legend, the queen. But people are kind of over it. Like we have Bianca, we have Rhea, we have Iyo, Lyra's coming up, Tiffany's super popular. Like people are kind of, and even Bailey and Becky still have that like genuine connection with the crowd. But Charlotte has been the same throughout her entire career. And when she's an active competitor and she's healthy, she's near titles, and people are really tired of that. She's beaten a lot of people's favorites. So yeah, people
so
are
you're
not
saying
really
what?
happy
She's getting the John Cena effect from like the mid 2000s, where Cena's always in title picture, always wins, long title reigns, and the same old shit. You think it's that, or do you think she feels like she's getting overlooked, if I can even say that, or she feel like left out?
It's she has a level of entitlement and hubris and ego that I think blinds her to how the crowd actually feels towards her. And she always tries to flip it like, oh, if they're reacting, that's something, whether you're booing or wooing. But I don't think she expected to get booed like this coming off of such a long injury. Like people were excited for Charlotte to come back. Yeah. We wanted to see Bianca Charlotte. We thought we might get Charlotte Nia. There were a couple of different possibilities, but really, like, the Rumble return was cool, but people popped for everyone at the Rumble, so that don't really count. But that Raw, when she had that promo with Rhea, people weren't rolling. People were not rolling
because look who she's in the ring with.
Yeah. Right.
That's my point. When you put her up in today in 2025, you put Charlotte against Rhea, everybody's going for Rhea. If you put her against Bianca, they're gonna go for Bianca. You put her against Jade. You see the stand out with Jade. They're going for Jade.
Technical wrestling, like the history. I mean, people they don't want to look at the history. They want to look.
There's a lot of people that they're becoming a fan of now. The Roxannes, and they still love Bailey. You know, Liv Morgan has skyrocketed since.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? You know, Alexa Bliss came back, which I don't know where she's at now, but she came back. And it's like, oh shit, like, damn, there's a lot of females up and coming, and like, what about me? I'm the queen. I'm Charlotte. Like now, and Tiffany Stratton, even Nia Jax had a great last year. Yeah. So it's weird to say where does Charlotte fit in all this, but you knew once she came back and she wanted Tiffany, she was gonna be the heel in that match. It just bound to happen.
But let me ask you guys this.
Yeah.
My fault. Was you? What do you think?
Nah, I was gonna say I really think Charlotte is delusional enough to think she could come back and be the face in that situation. Because Tiffany just turned face like a couple months ago, and I thought I was concerned about it at first. Like she was a good heel. She needs some work on the mic. But as far as being a face, I was like, what's her character going to be? How's she going to do it? But putting her up against Charlotte is a great way. Like you put anyone up against Charlotte, you could turn Liv Morgan face right now if you put her up against Charlotte. And Liv is one of the biggest heels on the show, and she's amazing at it. But that's the power or the kind of people's exhaustion with Charlotte is to the point where they automatically cheer the other person.
Do you think they lean into it though? I think that at this point you kind of got to let Charlotte, even if you do put a belt on her, I don't think she'll get it this time. But even if you do put a belt on her, I think she has to stay heel for a while. You know what I mean? Like you got to lean into the fact that like, because we haven't heard like organic boos like this really since Dominic. Like, which is a good thing though. To her point, right? Boo or woo, they just want you to care.
Dominic, Logan Paul. That's like real.
But you know what's funny is I saw a clip. I don't remember who, somebody, random Twitter person, but they kind of posted exactly that comparison between her getting booed, a veteran, and Logan Paul getting booed, a real life dickhead. You know what I mean? Like his whole thing is I'm a heel and I'll never be anything else because that's just who I actually am. Everyone hates me because I tell you know what's funny. I just thought about this. You know what he is?
Who? Dom or who?
I hate to switch the conversation, but Logan Paul.
Okay.
You know what he is? He's the modern day version of the $1 Million Man. Because now, in today's society, it's about clout, right? That's money. And it's about turning clout into money. He's done all of that, right? But they actually know in real life, the guy has money, and we hate the fact that he's so fucking good. I hate that he's good enough that he's had several spots that were like, holy shit. You would have thought he'd been training for this his whole life. He hasn't. And he tells us that. And he tells us how good he is, and we're just like, fuck. And on the mic, he reminds everybody, like, yeah, and nobody can talk shit like me. Like that's what makes him special. And it's funny that someone like him, who is new to this, could take a crowd's boos and flip it on their head on the mic. Whereas I think we were all the most shocked we were, even outside of the 0-3 and you'll be alone. It was more the fact that someone like Charlotte would be rattled by a crowd. It's like, wait a minute, what? Like you're Charlotte Flair. Like, how did you not know? Like, okay, keep this going. Start talking shit about everybody. I don't think she was ready to be a heel quite yet. Now she knows she has to lean into it.
Well, she has to. She got no choice.
She didn't choose the heel life. The heel life chose her, man.
Yo, that should be her new gimmick. Just with like a Tupac, you know what I'm saying? Like rag and heel life on the belly. You know what I'm saying?
Before I let you go, Armin, I keep it on the women's side. We spoke about Tiffy and Charlotte, the triple threat, but I think which we've been getting some good reaction on our TikTok thing about this Jade and Naomi thing. I think that has really spiked as far as people's interests. You know, getting a good placement on the card, getting a good story. I said last week, if you ask me right now, I think Naomi should be the winner. I think Jade will get her upcomings later on. But what have you made of the story between Jade and Naomi? And do you agree that Naomi should come out the winner at WrestleMania?
I've really enjoyed the story. That there was so much confusion with where's Jade, who did it. There was one point I thought maybe Bailey did it. There was one point I was like, nah, it's obviously Naomi. And then another point where I thought, nah, it's feeling like Bianca. And so them going with Naomi, like it almost kind of felt safe, but the way that they've told the story has made it amazing. Like from that promo where Naomi calls Bianca, you know, a curse word. I'm not going to say because you know it's PG here.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
shout out to our truth. But these promos Naomi has been cutting, this caution tape, this new, she almost feels like sadistic and psychotic, but like in control of it. Like it's I did not expect her to ever not that I didn't think she was capable. I just never saw this version of her character coming. She's played this heel, this vindictive, but also hurt and jaded from what she's experienced character extremely well. So I think Jade's gonna have to bring it. This is a big singles match at WrestleMania. She hasn't had
first ever at Mania. First,
right? Yeah, she hasn't had too many singles matches. If they have, they've been short. So she's really gonna have to bring it because we know what Naomi can do in the ring. But this is a huge showcase for both of them. I do think Naomi would benefit more from the victory. Part of me believes maybe Jade wins, but it doesn't stop at Mania. Like, one of the big things I've had to learn over the course of my wrestling fandom is WrestleMania is not a season finale. It's not a series finale. Like, for some things, it's just the beginning of some stories. And so this feels like it's going to be a continuation for Jade and Naomi, and we could get some type of stipulation match at Backlash or some type of stipulation match down the line. But I think that even if Naomi loses, and I would like to see her win, I think this is just taking her to a whole other level to where before, when they were having her do title matches, it's like, if Naomi won this, it'd be cool. Now it's like, I want to see her as a champion with this character.
Real quick, I think she wins. I think the only thing Jade taking the pin to Liv on SmackDown a few weeks ago, I wish that they would have held that off until Mania, that Naomi gives Jade her first official singles loss at a WrestleMania. And the thing is, you lost to Liv. Liv is getting up there, so I get that.
Girl.
But yeah, just the character of Naomi being heel and just this is something brand new in her wheelhouse, that to see her lose at Mania is like, I don't want to kill the momentum. They just turned their heel. There's more to the story. There's Backlash next month. You could have Naomi win at Mania, Jade win at Backlash. They're both 1-1, and then they have like a final send off at a. Plus, you got Evolution coming up in the summertime. You got SummerSlam, so there's a lot of prime spots. You can have that at, especially like a Bianca and a Rhea could also happen at an Evolution or SummerSlam. I don't have to wait a whole year until WrestleMania. But if you ask me today, and I've been saying it, we love Jade, but I think Naomi should be the one to walk out the winner at WrestleMania.
Agreed.
Okay, so we're 3-0. Terrence, who you got, Jade or Naomi?
Well, I want to rook two things. I think you said something that I've been thinking a lot about. We talked about Iyo. Like, I think she wins the triple threat, but I think it's because we get more smoke between Rhea and Bianca. It would be a perfect, I don't want to say culmination, but definitely like a perfect homage to all the work that, the women have put in terms of turning this division into, an incredible, they've carried in many eras, in the past couple of years.
True.
So to have Rhea and Bianca, two of the biggest stars, male or female, at Evolution or SummerSlam go head to head, I think would just speak volumes. Now, in terms of the match between Naomi and Bianca, Naomi and Jade.
And Jade.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a little torn because I totally feel you guys on the having Naomi win, because now we get to explore her really being a heel. Maybe we get to see her go beyond just this whole feud with Jade. Maybe it's even more heel work, and it would be cool. I think she deserves to show how, like, the breadth of like her character development. I think that's cool. But on the flip, I'm a real big Jade fan, and I think we all been waiting for Jade to really like have her moment. She got a chance to be eased into the to the fold with being in the tag team and being in a big three, having her moment. Tossing Nia Jax out of at the Rumble, but it would say something about where she stands if she was able to get her first WrestleMania win. You know what I mean? I think the bigger question for me is, does Bianca get involved? That's the one thing I'm actually asking myself is, like, I know she has a match. I know we just, especially me, just said the reason Bianca could win is because she know how to mind her own damn business and not worry about what other people doing like Rhea. You know what I'm saying? So it does kind of go against what I was just saying. But we can't pretend that this isn't, emotionally involved for her. So I'm just wondering, like, does she get involved? Does she come out to the ring? That's the bigger question for me, as opposed to who wins. I really, it's a draw for me. I can't pick. I can't pick. I don't know.
You could have her try to. You could have Naomi try to make Bianca lose. Jade comes out to stop that. So she obviously their match would have to be already done already. So let's say they're night one. I think because Bianca would go night two, or maybe earlier in the night. Naomi comes down, tries to help make Bianca lose. Jade comes out. They start scrapping again, and then Bianca gets distracted, and somehow, some way, Iyo ends up the winner. But now you protect. My thing is, who's taking the pin? Is it Bianca or is it Rhea?
Honestly,
that's the question.
I gotta say real quick, Randy. I don't think there's a bad scenario in whoever takes the pin in this one. I genuinely don't. I think that how it happens is more important. Like, to your point, like I don't think whoever takes the pin takes it clean. So with that being said, it probably is Bianca if Iyo wins because of some sort of involvement between a Jade or Naomi. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we have some sort of distraction. Maybe Rhea's knocked out already, right? And then like it looks like Bianca's gonna win, and then here comes Jade and or Naomi. To your point.
Yeah.
And that's how Iyo gets the win. But would that cheapen Iyo's win? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that. I think they're all at a place, and that's kind of their point as to putting Iyo in the match, is to say, like, no, she belongs in the conversation with them.
Yeah. Kenny, what do you think? Before you wrap up.
I think with the match, I could see Naomi women winning the match, but mess around, I could see Naomi and Jade. That match can go undecided.
First blood match, or
yeah, first blood. Thank you. I could see the match going undecided because if they both end up getting themselves disqualified and this actually continues to spill over, we get no contest.
Let's see. Oh, no contest now. All right.
We might get no. We may not get a deciding factor because if they still are brawling and they're still like spilling out all this animosity towards each other, we not get a winner. And you can carry this over into the next few months, and when we finally get the deciding factor, Naomi's gonna help Jade, build off herself. That's just working, and with that. As it was said before, Naomi comes out and interferes with the match against Bianca.
Yeah.
So when you get that, then in comes Jade. Like I said, Bianca has two stories that she's worried about. One is the main one she's worrying about is the championship. So I could see that, and Iyo can retain the match, and Bianca might get the pin over it. She might take the pin on Iyo.
I think so too, because Rhea just took the pin against Iyo on Raw. So I'm like, all right, is Rhea gonna take the pin again to Iyo? Probably not. So Bianca, your turn now.
So that could happen.
Oh, there you go. Armin, any last thoughts on that, or WrestleMania, or anything you want to talk about?
Man, I'm just very excited for Mania. I'm excited for this next year of WWE programming. I know we didn't talk Cody Cena. I do think Cena's going over.
Me too.
I think Cena's winning, so that opens up a lot of fun matchups. I think the best thing about the company right now is like that bloodline run, while it's over, it impacted so many people, and there's so many interweaving storylines. Like, you have Drew McIntyre's hate for Roman, but then you have Drew McIntyre's hate for Punk, and now you got Punk not fucking with Cena because Cena turned, and then you got Punk who's cool with Cody, but they got like a friendly competition kind of thing going, and then there's just so many different directions that you can go. Like, they have this embarrassment of riches and embarrassment of talent that people get left off of PLEs, and you're like, well, I kind of get it, because there's just so many people you got to get on these shows. So I'm really excited for the next year of WWE programming, and it's no better time to be a fan and no better time to talk graps with some good guys.
All right. Any last words, Terrence?
I mean, the one thing that's on my mind is, it's actually a point you brought up several times, Randy, and like, that is, how does the after effects of the main event of night 1 affect the main event of night 2? There's no way that it doesn't. I haven't quite figured out how it does yet.
It's like a domino.
Right. There has to be some sort of spillover, particularly because, as we talked about, how do we book this? Where does this go?
Yeah.
You were adamant about, like, well, it's got to be like the main event in night 2, because that has to affect the triple threat has to be night 1, because somebody has to get involved in Cena, Cody, night 2. So now that we're here, and now that we know, it's looking that wasn't a prediction. It was more a spoiler. Maybe Randy is our wise man. Who knows? Like, what I'm saying? Like,
listen, that main event has shenanigans written all over it. The Rock, Stone Cold, he lives right there in Vegas. Yeah, it could be Randy Orton turning on Cody Rhodes. Is a lot, but I do agree with Armin that I'll ask now. So we got 10 so far on the card. Armin, you're going with Cena, right, over Cody?
Yeah. Yep.
You're going with Iyo in the triple threat.
Yes, sir.
You're going with Tiffy over Charlotte.
Can you put the card back up?
Tiffy over Charlotte, yeah.
You got it. Hold on. Here we go. Boom. Let me get this out the way. Oh, no. All right. So you got Cena, you got Iyo, you got Tiffy. IC title. Who you got?
I'm gonna go Dom Mysterio.
That's right, Dirty Dom. AJ, Logan Paul. I think Logan Paul in this one, bro.
I think
it's a tough one. It's a tough
I
one.
want AJ to win, but I know they'll probably might give it to Logan.
AJ hasn't won at Mania since
ever.
He beat Shane. He beat Shinsuke.
Nakamura, yeah.
That's right.
I think he beat Randy at 35. I think
he beat Kevin Owens and Randy. I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah.
Has Logan Paul won a Mania match yet? No, right?
Yeah, the triple threat.
Yeah, he won the triple threat, and him and Miz beat Ray and Dom.
Yeah.
And he lost Seth.
Yeah,
he lost to
Seth. I'm gonna go AJ here.
Okay. Chad Gable, Rey Mysterio.
Another tough one. I think I'm gonna lean
Gable.
Gable.
I'm gonna go Ray.
Ray.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ray.
You got Naomi, right?
Yeah, I got Naomi here.
You got LA Knight.
Yep.
I got chips and spinach dip for that match. That's what I got.
Damn, come on.
The Jacob Fatu disrespect is wild.
I'll go Jacob Fatu here.
Jey Uso, Gunther.
Jey Uso or we riot.
Yeet.
Jey Uso.
You hear that, Trips?
That's right.
Jey Uso or we riot.
And then CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins.
If we were talking before y'all told me what that segment was, I would have said Punk. Now I'm kind of leaning towards Seth.
Roman's gonna have a nice little break and come back later on.
Nah, I think Seth needs it more than Punk does and more than Roman. And plus, my last point is Seth has been the workhorse the last couple of years, and my man worked hurt last year. He worked injured, somewhat torn MCL, some shit. He worked that main event night 1. He got blasted in night 2 with the chair by The Rock real quick in the Shield outfit, but he was working really injured last year. and he's just the one constant in the company that no matter what kind of match you need, he's right there. And I think now is the time where they're gonna put their chips on the table. Like, you know what, we're gonna reinvest in you and shoot you to the moon once again. Now it's gonna be his time to get away from the punks, get away from Roman for now, and then start your own thing again and put you on top, because Jey Uso might have the title to like SummerSlam, and you're gonna get Seth involved. You're gonna get Drew McIntyre involved. You might get Braun Breaker involved. So I don't see that reign for Uso lasting that long. I could be wrong, but there's gonna be a lot of challengers for that title, and you're looking at Seth being number one.
Yep.
I like all of that. I hope Jay gets at least Mania, but I hope he gets a real run, considering that he got like 2 weeks with the IC title. You know what I mean? Like, I hope he gets a real run. I honestly hope he gets even beyond SummerSlam, because that's pretty short. What are we, like 3 months away from that? Maybe.
Yeah.
So I hope he gets an even longer run.
That's what Damian Priest had. WrestleMania to what? SummerSlam to Gunther.
Yeah, thanks to Finn. Yeah.
Oh,
do you not?
I forgot Drew and Damian Priest.
Why is it not on that graphic? That's weird.
I don't think they made it official, because I don't know, because Drew's having his eye. He actually had to get the glass. Really did get in his eye.
Wait, what?
When
he got glass in his eye.
When Damian
from the car spot?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Actually, glass did get in his eye.
I feel like they should make that a stip match. The one thing this Mania doesn't have a lot of, there's not. I don't think there's any stipulation matches yet. It's just singles and triple threats and fatal four ways. There's no stipulation.
Like no
matches.
ladder matches, no this and that. Like
table.
So Drew and Priest should get like a Las Vegas street fight or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh God, everything's a Las Vegas, New York City
War Games match. Put him in a War Games cage.
A Long
War
Island
Games match solo.
A Long Island street fight. Bring back the Punjabi prison match. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because you're missing that match, and you would have had KO and Randy Orton.
Yeah.
That's tough, bro. Listen, let me get you guys out of here. Armin Sadler, greatly appreciate it, man. Listen, no invite needed. Whenever you want to come on, you hit us up for after Raw, after SmackDown, or after a PLE. I know the Vegas week for Mania, I probably do the Raw that Monday, but the SmackDown, I think the following Raw, I won't even be here, so it'll be the following SmackDown. And I wish I could do the live show after Mania, but I just won't be around to do it. But anything beyond that, Backlash and going forward, you want to hop on, let us know, and then we'll definitely make it happen.
Absolutely, man. Thank y'all again. I had a great time with y'all.
Yes, sir. Armin Sadler, Kenny Ho, Terrence Watson, 2 out of 3 Falls podcast. Don't go nowhere. We out.